The French Premium Buyer's Guide. That's what we got today. We've already gotten past the anniversary sale, so now we've just got the end of year sale coming up. I've done other videos on other lines. I'm trying to get the French one out. I apologize being late on this, but I think I got a good video here for you today. There's not as many options in the French tree, so maybe a shorter video too, but here we go. I'm going to give you the rundown. Make sure you try and find a buyer's guide from 2023. The meta shifts and changes over time. These are my opinions on the current state of these premium aircraft in the French tech tree as of 2023. Please do take a moment to like and subscribe. I've got, I think, Italy and Israel and China left to go. So make sure you subscribe and you don't miss those videos. Here we go. French Premium Buyer's Guide. All right, guys, we're going to start with rank one. Rank one, do what you want. You're not going to really be at this tier long enough to make any of these premiums worth it. I suggest skipping all of them. I would say don't buy any of them. Rank two. You only have two options for rank two. You have the P-40F-5 Lafayette, and you have an event vehicle, which you're probably not going to get anyway. So is the P-40 worth it? Yes, I would say this is a solid buy, given the value. You're not going to get a great amount of Silver Lions rewards out of it, but if you want an easy way to plow through ranks 1 through 3, this is a great option. It's a great 2-7 ground RB option. It's got great secondary weapons for that. The 50 cals are, I believe you have just the early war belts, but you have this ground target belt. It can easily kill armored targets in ground RB. It's a good flex into both, and plus it's just a great looking P-40. If you know, in terms of P-40s, and I'm a big fan of P-40s in general, but this is a definite buy for me. Pick it up, especially on sale. Rank three, I'm going to show you three options. Those are the three options that I have. There are a couple of event vehicles. This is an event vehicle. I'm not going to talk about it. This is a former Battle Pass vehicle. Could be on the market. I'm not quite sure. Go check that out. It's just a P51C. If you want one for your French line and it's cheap enough, you can go ahead and pick it up. Otherwise, it's not that special. I think every nation almost now has a P51C. Um, I don't really know how and where you can get this one, so I'm going to skip it. Maybe if it's cheap enough, you can grab it. It is a premium with premium bonuses, but we're mainly going to talk about the Yak 3 at rank 3, battle rating 4.3. This is a great option. This is a incredibly strong vehicle for its battle rating 4.3. Russian Yak 3s and this Yak 3 are very dominant. They have extreme amount of energy. The only thing that you really need to watch out with this premium is that you have a very limited ammo pool. Otherwise, the flight performance on this vehicle is not going to let you down. If you want to grind air RB, this is going to be a super strong option for you. Highly recommended. It does not carry any secondary weapons for ground RB, and I believe it's very lightly armored. So keep that in mind. It's really going to be an air RB option only, but I do recommend this. This is a buy. You're gonna find that it is a very dominant plane at this battle rating and will serve you well, both in the Silver Lions department and the research department, and will get you through, I believe, rank 3 and 4. So good option. Buy recommendation. The P47D-22RE. This is that 3-7 option that they give to almost every um, nation in the game at this point. It's not a super amazing version of the P47. It's just the D version. What sets this apart, and the reason why you might want to grab it, is if you want to play 3-7 to 4-7 ish ground RB. It's probably going to be one of your better ground attackers with the individual bomb drops on the 1,000-pound bombs. In terms of air RB, I don't necessarily recommend it. The Silver Lions rewards aren't very high. It is an off meta plane at this battle rating. You're going to kind of struggle. It's really a ground attacker that is dressed up as a fighter. There is a particular playstyle for P47s. You can be successful in them, but for someone who doesn't just love P47s and is someone who's, not aware of what sort of restrictions they're placing on themselves by picking this one up, I would say skip. Maybe get it on sale, but otherwise I would skip. Rank 4, I can talk to you about the AD4s. AD4s, if you're looking for a ground attacker for ground RB, this is a good option. It will serve you well. It's a little high in BR, frankly. That said, you know, France ground our lineups are really, in my opinion, right here at the 5.3, 5.7, and then they make a big jump, in my opinion, to France 7.7. So you're gonna be flying out a ground attack prop in a early jet age game. So just be aware of that. That said, I mean, it carries phenomenal ground attack options. The BR and performance is why I have not grabbed it yet. Let's talk briefly about the Narval. I have not picked this up. The ground attack options aren't super strong. The performance isn't super strong. The 20 millimeter cannons are just the German MG 151s. So I've not seen the value here beyond novelty. Now, would it plug into my 5.7 ground lineup? Sure, but I also still can use the F6F, which has great ground attack options. I mean, like, really, this not even pick the right one here. Like, this is a really great ground loadout for that. So in terms of is the premium worth it? I don't know. The silver lions are probably worth. The research probably good. If you just want to kind of bomb bases and air RB, maybe the AD4 is worth it. But in terms of what their intended purpose is, which is ground attack, I don't know if it's a phenomenal leap over the tech tree options. I think at 6.0, most people use the Corsair with the SNEB rockets. These are really strong rockets for the BR, and you get a ton of them, and you can make a custom loadout and create with the bombs as well. So I don't think either one is worth it, so I would skip both. That said, I might pick them up in the future, but right now it's a skip. Let's talk about two options you probably will see occasionally. Not sure you will see them in the end of year sale, the holiday sale. One is the Vautour IIN. Was previously for sale and then dropped out. It is no longer for sale. And honestly, you should not buy it. It is 100% not worth it anymore. It's a great jet bomber, I guess, for ground RB maybe, but I used it as a grinder for the tech tree, and it's would get an air spawn, and you would just spawn with your bombs, and you would get air spawn. You could basically pick whatever base you wanted to get. You were generally always there. Sitting at 9.0, you could pretty much outrun everything. So you were like guaranteed a base, go back to rearm, go out and get a second base. Um, it was a good option for that. The flight performance of this thing is a freaking bus. It's awful. So if this becomes available for sale again, I do not recommend buying it. They took away its air spawn. It is 100% not worth it anymore. Now you're slow, you're late to get to the bases, and you have terrible flight performance. You're just a bomber pinata now. I do not recommend it. All right, so that brings us to the Mirage Milan. Again, this is something that becomes possibly open for sale periodically. It was a premium. They pulled it off the market, and then it briefly was on sale again. Um, I got it as a pack, I think, as it was going away one last time. This is still a decent jet bomber. Now you're like, well, it's a fighter. No, it's kind of a jet. It's a bomber. The flight performance on it kind of sucks. It gets two AIM-9Bs only. Um, there is a loadout that you can take where you get one bomb. Don't be tricked into taking these 1,000-pound bombs. I don't believe that it actually will kill a base. So it's something to be aware of. I probably need to try the Snebs. They might be worth trying to do that to maybe get. I don't know if there's enough rockets to get a base, but I use this almost every day. And the reason why I still use it almost every day is check out that Silver Lions reward. Okay. So if you're willing to buy just a straight jet bomber grinder, worth it. If you're buying it because you want a jet fighter at this BR, not worth it. Is it fast? Yes. Do I make it work? Yes. So how I use this is I go out, I get my base, I pull up, I get some altitude, and I go hunt for other bombers. Essentially, that's the only thing my AIM-9Bs are going to catch. I try and get like A10s, I try and get A6s, I try and get Su-25s. But it's a struggle. You're really working against the airframe here. It's one of the worst Mirages in terms of performance, engine performance, things like that. So I think Defin did a video on this. Go check that out. But I use it as a jet bomber, as a Silver Lions grinder. If that's what you need and that's what you want, I would say buy. Just go in with it, eyes open. If you can buy it, which you can't buy it generally. So if you can pick it up, I will also say this. In today's meta, as of December, like the first week of December 2023, there's now the rocket pod meta for killing bases. And so even now, even how fast it is, even that it can kill one base, you're now fighting other, mainly the Swedish jets with the rocket pods to try and get a base. So I don't know. In terms of a grinder, jet bomber grinder for France, I would consider it worth it, but it's even more difficult to use now for its intended purpose. So cautionary buy. Then lastly, we have the Mirage F1C-200. This is a slightly different version of the tech tree version over here. F1C, I believe the only difference is the mid-air refueling boom attached to the nose here. For me, I got this on sale. I got this on the anniversary sale for half off. It's still 35 bucks, but I bought it because when I took out the tech tree version, I really enjoyed myself. So I bought it because I like playing it. To me, at half off, um, this is a tentative buy. Um, it's lacking a little bit at the BR in terms of secondary weapons. That's why I was testing out the gun pods. I have been running this loadout, which is an IR missile, or excuse me, yeah, the big IR missile, and then two radar missiles, and then Magic 2s. Now, Magic 2s are fantastic right now. Magic 2s are absolutely awesome. The radar missiles are a little lacking. What I would do, make sure you use the uh, head on MTI radar mode for the radar missiles. That is a mode specifically designed for low level ground, and you'll get a lot better locks using that mode. Just remember to switch off to something else when you get a little higher. And with that, I'm actually been able to make the radar missiles work. But your primary armament here is going to be the two magic missiles, the two magic twos, and they are fantastic. They recently got a buff. I really like the flight performance of this thing. I mean, it's not the best. You do tend to black out. It's pretty fast. It flies like all their other Mirages, which I've kind of gotten used to. But this is a tentative buy for me. So let's summarize then. So in summary, if you're trying to grind for the Mirage 4000, you really have, in my opinion, two ways to go about it. If you're starting from, like, let's say you've grounded another tech tree and you're used to playing top tier, just buy the Mirage F1C. It is competitive at 11.3. You're going to really suffer in up tiers, but so does every other, $70 premium at that BR range. I think it's still usable. 11.3 sees an occasional down tier, and it is reasonably competitive at 12.0. At 12.3, it's going to hurt, but, so does every other 11.3 at 12.3. So you can either buy once, cry once, get the $35, $75, or $70, whatever it is, whether you buy it on sale. You can buy this and just grind out the entire tree. Another option is if you're starting from ground zero and you're maybe not used to the jet age, but you are coming into this fresh and you want to build your way up to the jet age. I would start with you can do the P40 if it's cheap enough. Maybe you pick up the P40 and the Yak 3. But the Yak 3 is where I would jump into it for props. With the Yak 3, you can grind all the way through to rank 4 with 100% efficiency. And once you're there, jump to the Mirage. In terms of tech tree versions, tech tree options that you're going to want to look at, another option is to, grind up to maybe the Saber K, the 86K. That's going to be fun. The F100Ds, everybody craps on them, but with the oh well, that's why, because the French version doesn't get the E's. The Super Intendard, if I don't know how to say that, is competitive with the Magics, two Magics. Um, if you get the option to buy the Milan, that would be a good stopgap between the Yak and the Milan. But I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have to make a jump to the Mirage at some point if you really want to grind out the French air tree in the most efficient way possible. You're probably gonna start with the Yak. You're gonna get to rank 4, and then jump to the Mirage. There are some decent tech tree versions in here. Like I really enjoy the Mirage C, and I enjoy the Mirage E. Both have decent radar missiles for the battle rating they sit at, especially the E because it can carry countermeasures and is the same BR as the C. It's just a little heavier. Um, yeah, I mean, but ultimately there is a jump in here, so you might as well get your feet wet and start practicing at top tier with the $35 premium, or if it's on sale, or the $70 buy once, cry once. You can see here I'm waiting on the sale to go ahead and buy out these jets, and then I'll be grinding the Mirage 4000. Look for a video on that in the future. Go ahead and like, subscribe, get all that all the way. Let me know what you think in the comments. One last comment: if it does become for sale, doing jet bombing at 9.7 is a lot easier than dogfighting at 11.3. So that's an option too. But let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know where I missed any of these. I skipped over a large number of them because I had them on. So the tech tree just it didn't, a lot of these are repeats from other tech trees. I just didn't get to them. So let me know in the comments and I'll respond to you there. Have a good one, YouTube.